How do pawns move in chess? If you're new to chess or just need a refresher, understanding how pawns move is essential. So let's break it down step by step. First, pawns are the smallest and least powerful pieces on the chessboard, but they are crucial to the game. Each player starts with 8 pawns, placed on the 2nd and 7th ranks for white and black, respectively. Now let's talk about how pawns move. A pawn can move forward 1 square, but there's a special rule for its first move. On its first move, a pawn has the option to move either 1 or 2 squares forward, as long as both squares are empty. After that first move, the pawn can only move 1 square forward. Here's an important point. Pawns can only move forward and cannot move backwards. If a pawn is blocked by another piece, whether it's a friendly piece or an opponent's piece, it cannot move forward. When it comes to capturing, pawns move differently. They capture diagonally 1 square to the left or right. For example, if a pawn is on the e4 square, it can capture pieces on the d5 or f5 squares. There's also a special capture rule called en passant. This rule applies when a pawn moves 2 squares forward on its first move and lands next to an opponent's pawn. The opponent can then capture that pawn en passant, as if it had only moved 1 square. This capture must be made on the next move, or the option is lost. To illustrate, if a black pawn moves from e7 to e5 and there is a white pawn on d5, the white pawn can capture the black pawn en passant by moving to e6, as if the black pawn had only moved 1 square. Finally, pawns have a unique ability called promotion. If a pawn reaches the opposite side of the board, the 8th rank for white, the 1st rank for black, it can be promoted to any piece, except for a king. Most players choose to promote their pawn to a queen because it is the most powerful piece, but it can also be promoted to a knight, bishop, or rook in certain situations. Understanding these rules will help you navigate the chessboard more effectively and make the most of your pawns. Remember, while pawns are the least powerful pieces, they are the soul of chess and can play a decisive role in your strategy.